what do you do when you don't like the way the story's been told?
Mm-hmm.
You figure out a way to tell it differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
From your words. So I got all these awesome meetings at with publishers, and they wanted big celebrity takedown pieces, and they were willing to give me pretty big advances that would help a lot of my financial issues. I was living with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, that's not the story. And I got rejected and rejected and rejected. And finally I got a little book deal, and I published that book, and I waited for my life to change, and like 10 people bought it.
Mm.
I think 8 of them had my last name. But this was my startup, right?
Yeah.
I still believed in it. I just needed to find a different way in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took a bunch of meetings in Hollywood because I wanted to learn the business. And what I found was that nothing happens unless you get one of these really prolific filmmakers, writers, or directors. Even if you attach great talent to it, it still doesn't necessarily go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have Sorkin, if you have Spielberg, if you have Shonda Rhimes, if you have Tyler Perry, it's going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
There were so many people in DC and LA and New York making calls to the studio saying, please don't do the Molly Bloom story. So it also had to be someone who was brave. And I'm a huge Sorkin fan. The West Wing, A Few Good Men,
Mm-hmm.
Moneyball. You can feel the integrity and the courage that he writes with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he's the one. But Aaron Sorkin is the highest paid screenwriter in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't have any social media. So
Cannot DM.
Cannot DM. And so, I mean, there's, moats and moats and moats around him. But I just stayed relentless trying to, go down the web of how to get to him. And finally, I found this great entertainment attorney who represents like huge clients, but he and I became friends, and he said, I can send this book to Sorkin. And then a couple days later, I got a message forwarded from Ken to me from Aaron that said, I'm looking forward to meeting Molly for lunch. And I was like, what? And little did I know, like, he really wasn't interested, but he was doing a favor for Ken. And so I flew to LA, and I had this moment before I walked in that door, like, what am I doing? What am I thinking? His last movie was about, Facebook. Like, and then I just said to myself, you have to believe in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
Just like when I was 12 years old, like, you have to believe that anything is possible, that why not you? And it's a good story, and it's a unique story. So
Mm-hmm.
just chin up, girl. And I walked in and told him my story. And when I was done, I guess it worked, the little mind shift, because he said, well, I'll tell you one thing, kid. I have never met someone so down on their luck and so full of themselves. I wasn't full of myself, but I encourage people to believe in themselves,
Mm-hmm.
even at rock bottom. Even if you're 35 years old, living with your mother, millions of dollars in debt, and a convicted felon, to believe that you are still worthy of incredible things. In fact, you're more worthy because you have a story,
Mm-hmm.
and you've been through hell.